Alright, there's a few people around the pool. It's a little bit loud, but hopefully you can hear me. I just wanted to make a quick video. Which girls should you be dating? Should you be dating a Korean girl or a Japanese girl? I'm going to compare them and help you decide. But look at this view. Look at that. Beautiful view. Beautiful pool. Got a gym there as well. That's nice. So, I guess the problem with a lot of guys out there is that they're kind of sick of the West, sick of the United States, sick of Australia, sick of Britain. There's a loneliness epidemic happening all around the world, especially in the Western countries. And, they're treated better when they travel. A lot of men basically started out hitting places like Eastern Europe. Uh, that was where the first, I would say, passport bros were going. There were a lot of British guys and a lot of fake pickup gurus going to Poland and Ukraine because they couldn't get laid in the West. And I would say the superior area of the world, if you're a lonely guy in the West, is to go to Asia. It is the future in every possible way. And if you had to choose between two countries to go, which one, Korea or Japan, we're going to compare them. Okay, so culturally, let's start out with the culture. Now, I would say that there's a few cuties over there. I would say South Korea because, see, South Korea and Japan, they're both kind of influenced by the United States. The United States kind of took over and controlled Japan first. And then they built up, the economy in South Korea. But something has happened that they've diverged where you would have South Korean culture with dating totally different from Japanese culture is that the South Koreans are very feminist. Very, there's a lot more white knights in Korea. Men are more angry in Korea. And they have less control over their country, which is their own fault because the Japanese have been totally colonized by the United States, and the Japanese are a male-dominated society, and they don't behave the same way. And so that the dating culture in Korea versus Japan is that the Korean girls are a little bit more bitchy. They're a little bit more demanding. Um, their their men are giving them flowers all the time and giving them massages and washing the dishes, and the men in South Korea have effectively been kind of cocked in a way, whereas the Japanese men, and the funny thing is, if you see a Korean man, he's going to come across quite alpha and angry in a way, and the Japanese man's going to come across kind of like less alpha in a way. But when you have a look at how they control their countries, the Japanese man is far more alpha and the Japanese women are far more feminine. And that is a reflection of the men. And so it's a little bit confusing when you look at it on face value, and a lot of men get this wrong where they think, oh, okay, well, the Korean man's alpha, so it must be a male. It's not a male-dominated society. And so therefore, you're going to have to work harder with a Korean girl. She's less likely to want to pair bond with you fast. You're going to have to work really hard for it. You're going to have to spend a lot of money. But it's also, you're going to have to be writing letters and giving her flowers and taking her to expensive dinners, etc. She's going to make every aspect of your life kind of a little bit more difficult. Whereas on the other side, it's a male-dominated society in Japan. The Japanese women, you could buy her a coffee and she'll come home with you because in a way, it's kind of the opposite. She's more empowered because it's a male-dominated society. and she's more free to have fun and enjoy her life. And Japanese girls, let's go to which girls are happier. Japanese girls are happier. They're just more they're more likely to have a smile on their face. They're more likely to be in a good mood. Korean girls are a little bit more grumpy. They're less happy with their life. Um, and both of these countries are wealthy, advanced societies, so it doesn't make sense why, you know, based on the economy and the work life balance, why the Korean women would be more grumpy. But that's just a fact. That's just how it is. Now, so the Korean girls are a little bit more grumpy. The Japanese girls are happier. They're, the culture is a male-dominated society. You're less likely. Here's another factor: Korean girls are more likely the next day, for absolutely no reason, to go, I regret what I did last night with this guy, and charge you with something. Actually, like, uh, lodge some sort of police report against you when you've done nothing wrong. Japanese girls are less likely to do that. So you're safer to go with a Japanese girl. And this is partly why Japan is a far more dominant, successful society, because the men aren't spending too much of their time dealing with nightmare women. Nightmare women kind of destroy your society, your economy, and the future prestige of the country. Japanese girls they understand that this is part of dating. They might regret it the next morning. It's kind of their fault as well because they decided to do it last night, right? But in the West, as well as Korea, they might change their mind the next morning and you could get in trouble. You hear of a lot of men getting in trouble in South Korea. So that's another factor as well. Now, at the moment, I've stacked it heavily in the Japanese favor. But there's one thing that the Koreans have that the Japanese do not have, is that Japanese girls cheat. They cheat a lot, and they're extremely dishonest. So you could legit be in a long-term relationship, or you could be married. You could have kids, and she could go for a walk down to the shops. You're like, "Where's my wife? She's been gone a couple of hours." Sleeping with some random guy she met in the shops. You'll be shocked what Japanese girls are willing to do. But on the flip side, in a way, because it's more of a different culture and the women demand a lot more, um, Korean girls stick by their men by and large, uh, more than I would say the Japanese girls. Japanese girls are far more likely to cheat. They're far more likely to sleep with anybody in their way. If if they truly love you, and some guy's good looking and he's just nearby, they might actually just sleep with that random guy just because he's there. So infidelity runs rampant when dealing with Japanese girls. What else is there? So we've covered quite a few bases already. We're coming up to 10 minutes. I could probably cover a little bit more ground, but I think uh, it's a slam dunk for the Japanese girls. Uh, Okay, here's another one. Japanese girls generally have messed up teeth. Their teeth are a little bit. They're not like. See how mine are like kind of normal. Japanese girls will have like jagged teeth sticking out. It doesn't make sense why they don't fix their teeth at an earlier age, but quite often they don't. Um, uh, and Korean girls are probably more likely to have better teeth. Plastic surgery runs rampant over there. But on the flip side, another negative for Korean girls is you don't know what you're getting because she might have had too much plastic surgery. It's less likely to happen in Japan. Still, with the teeth and the cheating, the Japanese girls, they win by far. They're definitely by far the best choice for you. It's a slam dunk. And most people agree with me on this point. If you disagree, leave a comment. Now, if you are wondering how you can uh, meet a Japanese girl, even if you travel to the country, there's no guarantees you're going to be able to get one. Sure, you can get on dating apps, but there's also, and I'll put it in the description. I'll put it on the. It's on my YouTube channel. It's on my website. The 30-day challenge to get you approaching girls and learning how to cold approach Japanese girls if you happen to go to Japan and seek out by far the superior women in that region of the world. 30-day challenge, learn the cold approach, and you'll be able to pick which ones you like and approach them and have a nice conversation with them on the street and possibly take them home. And they are quite promiscuous, so I think you'll do quite well. I also, on my website, I wrote an article. It's a very long article. It's about 5,000 words about my experience when I first went to Japan for 8 days, what I got up to blow by blow every single day, how I met women in Japan. I recommend you read that and check it out, and hopefully that helps you, and hopefully the 30-day challenge helps you as well, and hopefully being able to pick between Korean girls and Japanese girls and where you should travel next. I highly recommend Japan. See you guys in the next video.